today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for coming by and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make beef tallow. Now, if you don't know what beef tallow is, basically it's animal fat that you use in place of butter or vegetable oil, stuff like that, and it adds some delicious flavor to your food. It's also all natural. This is it comes from beef fat. Like if you cut a brisket, all that unrendered fat that you cut off that's not going to render down, you can turn that into beef tallow. I didn't have a brisket that I did, but we have a local farmer here that has some grass-fed beef, and they call it beef suet when it's just in this fat stage here. So we're going to simmer this down and strain it, and we're going to be left with this beef tallow, which I think is a very healthy alternative than using some of these other highly processed oils that are kind of in the news cycle lately, how unhealthy they are for you. And there's lots of ways you can do this. Basically, we're going to put it in a pot. You can do it on the stove top, you can do it in the oven, you can even do it in your smoker. Just for ease and simplicity today, I'm going to use it in my Instant Pot to render down on the slow cooker setting. Anyway guys, stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. So here it is, the beef suet, otherwise I just call it beef fat. And you can see this is like super thick, all white. There are some parts here that you can see a little bit of meat, and that's fine. But what I'm gonna do here first, just to help it render down, is I'm gonna cut this into smaller cubes that we'll put in our pot, in the Instant Pot to render down. Be back in a second. Alright, so what you're going to do, we're going to try to cut this into probably around inch cubes. Okay? And this should be relatively easy to cut. I had this in the freezer and we had it defrosting overnight. We're just going to cut it into smaller cubes here. And you can see this is like literally nothing but fat. Okay? There is no meat. It's just dried up fat. Okay? So we're going to just cut it in little cubes here, maybe around an inch, inch and a half. And this will give it a little bit more surface area when we start to simmer it. So all this fat can render down and turn into our beef tallow. You can see some pieces, you can see a little bit of redness to it. That's not going to make a big deal here. So let me continue to do this, guys. I won't bore you watching me slice everything up, and I'll be back and kind of show you how everything looks like. Alright, so I started off with 4 pounds of that beef fat, and I probably got around 3 pounds, 3.75, 3.8. There was a little bit that I did throw away that just had too much red meat in it, and there's little pieces here you can see, but that's okay. You know, you're not going to get it all. Now you can see these are little small cubes, maybe around an inch, half inch in diameter. Some people like to run this through a grinder, like they're making sausage. I just feel that it's not necessary because this is small enough to render down. I mean, if you want to do it, but it just seems like a lot of extra work cleaning up your grinder. This stuff is fat, so it kind of sticks a little bit. It just makes a big mess, and I think just cutting it up is fine. So, I mean, this is pretty much all there is to it. Let me grab the Instant Pot, we'll stick it in there, and that's pretty much it. Be back shortly. Alright, so like I said, I'm using my Instant Pot. You can use a slow cooker. You can put this in a Dutch oven right on the stove top, or you can even stick it in like a 300-degree oven with a lid on it. And you just want to have it go maybe 3-4 hours. You want to obviously stir it every half hour, 45 minutes. Make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. So that's about it, guys. Once it's all rendered down, we're going to drain it and filter it. And this is where we're going to get that delicious beef tallow. Now, some people don't like the smell that this makes, the process, when this starts to render down. So if you want to do it outside in the smoker, that's fine. What I'm going to do here, we have a beautiful day today. We're still in February. It's been brutally cold the last month. And today it's, I think it's like 45 degrees. So I'm just going to put it outside my kitchen here. I'm gonna plug it in, put it on the table out there. That way I can keep an eye on it, but it won't smell up the house, okay? So that's it, guys. I'll put this on. I'm gonna put it on the slow cooker on low, and yeah, we'll come back in around an hour or so, check on it, and go from there. See you guys in a little bit. All right, so I'm out on my patio here, right off the kitchen. So I got it plugged right in here. We're gonna keep it out here just so it doesn't stink up the place, and we're gonna do slow cook, and I'm gonna put 4 hours. I'm gonna keep it on low. Obviously, it might not take that long. 4 hours, start. There we go, guys. I'm gonna let it sit out here. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my afternoon. I'll come back in around 45 minutes. We'll open it up, we'll stir it, and see how things are going. See you guys in a little bit. All right, the timer's at 2 hours and 57 minutes, so it's just been over an hour. Let's take a look, give this a stir. I figured it would take a little while. Oh, look, it hasn't even... Is it warm? It's warm. Maybe low is not strong enough. Oh, it's starting to render down a little bit, but boy.
Well, you want it to go slow.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a slow process.
Once it gets going, I bet it's going to get going, you know?
Yeah. It's okay. I guess we didn't really need to stir it at this point.
No,
I can feel it's warm, but it's not super warm.
Well, see, it's starting, look at, it's starting inside to, look at, do you see some of the liquid?
Yeah, let me go in there.
Watch. See?
Yeah, there's a little bit of liquid in there.
So it's, look at this, it's starting. Right here, this piece is all starting to.
Okay.
Just needs a really good stir. Some of it's breaking down. Oh, it's gonna be fine.
All right, well, let's put the lid on it, let it go for another hour.
Well, you want to probably do it a little more frequent than that, don't you?
Well, it's been over an hour now. It's not, you know, once it gets heated up, it starts simmering a little bit.
This smell isn't bad. I don't mind if it's in the house sometimes,
well,
too.
It hasn't really started to render yet.
No, but it's just a beefy smell. Some people might not like it. Okay,
all right,
but look, that looks good.
Yep, looks good. Let's put the lid on it.
Keep it going.
We'll come out a little bit later, check on it. All right. All right, so we're just past 4 hours. 4 hours and 12 minutes. We've been out here stirring, and one thing is, I don't think this thing's gotten hot enough, to be honest with you. All right, so there it is. We'll stir it real good. I'm gonna bring this inside because it's getting dark. It's getting a little cold out here. So you can see we have some liquid. It's rendering down. I might turn this on high just for a little bit, kind of get it going a little bit. All right, you know what? I just put this, this pot is safe on the stovetop. So I'm just putting this here. This is one of the other ways you could do it. And I think if you are pressed for time and you want to get it done in 3 or 4 hours, do it this way because you can adjust the heat and get it bubbling. I'm just going to get it bubbling now. And I might put it back in the slow cooker once everything is started. But you can see it's starting to render down. There is some liquid in the bottom. Whoops, I'm steaming up the lens. But yeah, I'm going to put a lid on it, just kind of like, just to keep it.
Oh, this one might be too big. Oh, let me get a smaller lid.
We'll get a lid to put on here.
Right here. Smaller lid.
All right. So we're going to put a lid on there right now.
You want to do it like this?
Not quite. I want to wait. We're just going to stick that on there.
I left this open.
That's fine. So it's got a little bit of venting. I just want this to get really hot, start to bubble a little bit. It's been around a half hour. And yeah, I would definitely recommend if you guys want to speed the process up, do it on the stovetop. I thought the Instant Pot might work best, but its slow cooker isn't as quick and easy as this. So as you can see here, everything is bubbling. Stir it. I've been stirring it like every maybe 25 minutes to 45 minutes. Nothing's sticking, but you can see all that liquid. Everything's rendering down. This is exactly what we want. Just like so. So what I'm going to do now, guys, it's on the lowest simmer that my gas stove will go. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to get a lot of condensation in here and have water go in here. It takes it longer to kind of render down. I'm going to put this on kind of a little bit lopsided here, allow some venting to take place while still maintaining the heat. So just like that. we'll let it go. Let's say another half hour, see how it looks like. You know, I just want to get as much of this beef tallow out of these pieces of fat as I can. So we'll be back shortly. All right, here we are. I've already taken it off the heat because it's rendered down. Man, look at this. The liquid, it's perfect. So before we can strain this, you just want to allow it to cool down just a bit. So I'm just going to put it like that. Give it like 10-15 minutes. We'll get over, strain it, we'll be done. All right, here we are. It's cooled down. I'm just gonna use this spatula just to kind of like drain off the pieces of fat before we try to strain it, okay? And look, I wish there was something else I could recommend to do with this at this point. These pieces of fat, but this isn't like chicharrones or pork fat. It's not good to eat, so some people put it in like a cheesecloth and you know, squeeze it and try to get every last drop. Which, hey, you know what? I'm not opposed to that, but I don't have that much motivation, so I'm just gonna strain this here as best I can. I want to get as much as that liquid. I think we got a good amount of liquid. Hopefully we have enough to make some onion rings, which will be a future video, guys, so stay tuned. I heard frying anything, fries, onion rings, and this beef tallow is like next level. I guess McDonald's back in the 70s and 80s did fry their fries in beef tallow, but people complained, so they changed it to some kind of oil. Alright, so I have a regular bowl and a regular strainer. Nothing too fancy. This is going to be the first attempt to kind of like strain everything out. So this has been cooling for a while, so it's easier to handle. But look, guys, well, there it is. That liquid, there's a little bit, you can see all those particles in there. That's what we want to strain out. So this will be stable to store in your fridge. So look. This will catch all the big pieces. Here we go. Ooh. Just like that. Look at that, guys. Ooh. Kind of bang it. You can even take a paper towel, kind of squeeze it if you want. So again, I wish I had some better suggestions for this, but look, look how trippy this is. 4 pounds of beef fat condensed to this, and the rest of it is liquid gold, as I would say. Anyway, we're gonna filter this a second time. Be back in a second. All right, here we are. Look at this. There's a lot of particles. So look, I bought this on Amazon. It's a little funnel. It's got a very fine mesh screen. But like I said, you could use a coffee filter, a paper towel even. But anyway, I'm gonna pour it in here. I'm gonna very carefully filter this to a mason jar. Not very complicated. This is liquid gold right here. And again, allow it to cool down a little bit. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this, guys. Oh. All right. Give it a little shake. And it's weird because it looks kind of like this beautiful gold, color when it's warm, but once it cools, it could be either a yellow to a white color when you put it in the fridge. And this will store for a year, as long as you get all those meat particles out of it. You want it to be as pure fat as possible. Yeah, look at all that sediment here inside this filter. Anyway guys, I'm going to fill up the other jar. We'll be back in a minute. Kind of bang it a little bit. All right, here we are. Look at this. Beautiful, double filtered beef tallow. Let me come up closer, guys. You need to look at this. Ooh, still a little warm. And this is the thing. Ow. Hang on, I gotta put down for a second. It's hot. But it's like liquid gold right here when it's warm. But you know, you put it in the fridge, it's gonna harden. It's gonna turn either white or maybe a little bit gold, depending. So I don't know. Each batch is different. This one, I got one complete mason jar and kind of like just under half of another one. But yeah, and this stuff is great, guys. You can use this to fry French fries. I mean, they say that McDonald's used to use this beef tallow instead of vegetable oil, but under pressure from, I don't know, vegans or whatever, they changed it back in the 80s. 90s? Okay. Monica's yelling 90s. Whatever. I still think McDonald's fries are good, but anyway, this stuff is awesome. Use it like you would use for butter, you know, frying up some eggs, some potatoes. Wherever you would need either olive oil or butter, you can use this. And I think it's got more flavor. I think it's a little more healthier than those seed oils, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Definitely give this a shot. Try it yourself. It's not that difficult, especially if you like to cook brisket like I do. Cut off that fat. Use it for something, you know, instead of throwing it away. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. If you like the video, please hit the like button. The logo on my shirt here is the logo on the bottom of the screen. If you click on that, it allows you to subscribe to my channel. Please do that because it really helps my channel grow. And yeah, I'll leave a link below to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com, where I have all my video recipes, photos, the whole bit. Look at this, guys. Liquid gold. Give this a shot. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.